Mr. David and I met on a flight. We were both flying to New York. This was last year. Your book was coming out December 4th, right? And I said, I'm going to get a copy. And you said, really? And I said, oh, yeah, I'm going to get it. And so when I got to the hotel room, got on Amazon, ordered my copy. I ordered a couple copies, actually.
I appreciate that.
And I brought a book for you to sign backstage, if that's all right.
Oh, yeah, easy day.
He's amazing. You shared so much of your story on that flight and in this book.
Thank you.
And you said you were in a bad way for a while. You know,
Right.
you were like 300 pounds. Was that true?
Yeah, so I had, the abusive father, I had a learning disability, had a severe stutter, and I suffered from toxic stress. So I had a whole bunch of white blotches all over my skin as a young kid. On top of the stuttering, on top of the, hair falling out of my head as a young kid. So I tried to hide in class. And, being, not only the only black kid in my class, but being, to me, I wasn't the smartest kid in class. I was the dumbest kid to myself. So you're always trying to hide. In my mind.
In your mind.
So I was already insecure from my dad beating me in Buffalo. We moved to the small town, Brazil, Indiana. And my mom was working 3 jobs at the time. We lived in a government subsidized apartment. So it cost us $7 a month, cost her $7 a month. So she was grinding, trying to make ends meet.
Because at the time you were with your single mother.
Right, single mother. So I copied all the way to my junior year in high school, just cheated on all these tests, and then I want to join the military. So I'm like, I want to join the military. I need to get out of this small town, tired of being called the N-word, tired of being the only, just tired of not fitting in. So basically, one incident that happened to me is I came out of school, and I had my brand new 1982 citation. And I came out, and they said, N-word, we're going to kill you. Spray paint all over it.
Oh, gosh.
So, my out was going to the military. So when I said, I'm going to join the military, I went to the recruiter, and he said, hey, you can take an ASVAB test. And when I heard test, I'm like, oh, my God, how am I going to do this? So a letter came in the mail a week after I failed my second ASVAB test. And it said pretty much, your son's going to flunk out of school. My mom was like, hey, you know what, you're going to flunk out. That was her only advice to me because she was so stressed out from her personal life. And that's when I invented the accountability mirror.
What is the accountability mirror?
The accountability mirror was, my life, I blamed everybody. And a lot of people had a lot to do with my failures, but it's now mine to own. I had to start owning this myself because they weren't
We will make
back.
excuses for anything and everything.
Right. My father wasn't coming back. The people that called me names weren't coming back. Nothing was coming back to save me. So I realized I had to save myself. And I said, you know what? I have to make changes. And that's when I invented the accountability mirror, where I started putting down, I'm not smart. And I put a sticky note on the accountability mirror. I'm this, I'm that. And my mirror was full of sticky notes. And every day I went through and I tried to kind of like solve these problems. And the biggest problem it was trying to fit in. I was trying to fit in. I was blaming other people. I wasn't taking accountability for my own actions. I was doing all these things wrong. And as a 17-year-old trying to teach yourself this, it was difficult. And it snowballed from there, but I ended up passing that test. I passed the ASVAB test. Thank you.
Awesome, yes. Incredible.
You made military history, though. You finally got into the military. You had to lose, what was it, 180 pounds or something like that? Some crazy number?
So after I got in the Air Force, I had some setbacks in the Air Force. I realized I was afraid of the water. So I wanted to be Air Force Special Operator, Air Force Pararescueman. And I worked my butt off to do it. And, I got in the water and I realized I'm not, me in the water, no fun. So I went from 175 pounds to 297 pounds in 3 years. And then I sat at home, and all those insecurities from my high school years came back. Just everything. I was like, man, I'm nobody.
Not feeling good enough.
Not feeling good enough. Making $1,000 a month, spraying for cockroaches. And I came home from work one day, and I watched this, it was a show on Discovery Channel or History Channel, something like that, but it was Navy Seal class, Bud's class, 224, going through training, and it was nothing but water, and they're going through Hell Week, and they're freezing, and people are quitting left and right, and I sat down at 297 pounds with a chocolate milkshake and a box of mini chocolate donuts. And I'm watching these amazing men going through training, and I felt like, man, I have to now really start to overcome my fears, because I felt so small. Every day I had this haunting voice in my head saying, you're nothing, you're nothing. And I had to start conquering myself. And I lost 106 pounds in less than 3 months.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible. It's amazing the power of our mind.
Let's get into your accomplishments.
Okay.
Because there's a lot.
Right.
All right. So you got into the
That's a lot.
military finally, and you made military history. How so?
Right. So I made military history because I'm the only person in military history to go through, Air Force TACP school, which is Tactical Air Control Party School. I'm the only person who's gone through, I was in 3 Hell Weeks in 1 year as a Navy SEAL. I completed Navy SEAL training after the 3rd try. And as a Navy SEAL, I went through Army Ranger School, where I was the enlisted honor man at Army Ranger School. Even though I didn't make it, but I'm very proud of it, I actually tried out for Delta Force twice as a Navy SEAL. I became very obsessed with finding out more because I'm like, I came from this horrible human being in my mind to this person who's now amongst uncommon men. And I wanted to then become the most uncommon of uncommon men because of where I came from. It was almost like a live autopsy on myself. I'm like, wow, you don't need to be anything to be truly amazing.
Are you afraid of anything?
I'm afraid of everything.
You
Being
are.
stuck on another flight with me.
Yeah, so basically, I chose these hard things to do because I wanted to learn how to callous my mind. So I did, like the pull-up record. I did 4,030 pull-ups. But in preparation for that pull-up record, I did 67,000 pull-ups in 9 months. And what happens is your hands become callous.
Yeah.
And calloused hands protect you from hurting yourself on the pull-up bar.
Right.
So I realized, you know what? I have to learn to start callousing my brain.
Interesting.
It's like that armor for your hands.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I have a chapter in my book called Armored Mind. And Armored Mind it speaks of how we have to do things that suck every day.
Right.
Because that's how you start to strengthen your mind.